Hello, I am Charlotte from Charlotte So Natural here in historic downtown Newton, Kansas. And a long time ago, well, I've been doing this for more than 38 years. So a long time ago, I wrote this pattern. Actually, it says 2002. It's called the Buddy Quilt, Inside Outside Buddy Quilt. And we've recently had some interest in it, and it's still a great project. So I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about it. This is a project where you're making a quilt with a buddy is the best thing. So this is a kit for a new colorway, and Design House, I think Design House is the name of the group, is the name of the designers, and I should have thought about the name of this line. I can't think of it, but anyway, there are Songbook 2. Anyway, this bundle makes 2 quilts, and the quilts are throw size. So you can do by adding borders, like we've done with the ones that are hanging up behind me, you can get it to 61 by 75, and this has borders for 2 quilts. So how does that work, Charlotte, you ask me? You start by cutting 3-inch strips, sewing them together, and making panels that are 22 inches long, the strips are, by however many fabrics you're using. In this case, we're using, I think it's 15 fabrics. So that's how they would get sewn together, the color order, but they would be 22 inches long. Then you're gonna cut the 3-inch strips, and you have strip sets that look like this. And I have started this project using these strip sets. So here is what the panel looks like when you've cut it into 3-inch strips. You can cut 7 strips from each panel. So you have to make quite a few panels depending on how large a quilt you're doing. So once you have that done, we're going to take one complete strip. We're going to take 2 strips that you take 1 fabric off of each end, off of the end, and you can choose either end, and then you sew them together even. So these 2, you've taken these off, you're sewing this together even. This is going to end up uneven at this end, and that is 1 quilt you're starting. This is the other quilt. So you're going to set these aside. You're going to set that little stack of 1. This quilt is done so that the outside of 1 quilt is the inside of the other quilt. So here you can see the green outside is the green center of this quilt. And the way we're doing that is we're building these in sets of triangles, and so this is going together like this. So this is how we are building this quilt, in triangles. So when I add to these, my triangle builds out from the corners. So you have this set started. Next you take another pair, and you're going to take 2 off of this one. So I've marked these pairs. Here's a pair of them. Here's the seam that I'm going to release. So you take your seam ripper and you rip, you cut about every 3rd or 4th stitch, and then you can just pull a thread and you have them released. So it's really easy and quick to do. So I'm going to take this 2, that's in my other quilt pile, and the quilt I'm working on right now is here. So then I'm going to take these and I'm going to sew them to either side of my panel that I'm sewing. So that's, in short, how you're proceeding. What's really fun to do is to pick a buddy. Maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your sister, maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's your cousin you haven't seen for a couple of years but you talk to all the time. Get together with them. One person does the cutting, one person does the sewing, and one person does the pressing, and one person gets to pick which quilt she wants first. No, really, that's not how it works. So when you cut together, you make sure that everybody's cutting 3 inches. Sewing, it helps if one person is doing the sewing of the panels so that all the seam allowances are exactly the same. At the same time that somebody is sewing, the other person can be pressing. And the pattern tells you exactly how to press so that when you start sewing these together, they nest together and it works really well. So anyway, I do have a pattern for this. The pattern is $10. It's on my website. It's called Inside Outside Buddy Quilts. And I would love to help you put together your own colorway if you like, but we do have this kit available right now, and it is also on the website. Thanks.